All right, we want to pull in our political correspondent now, Charlotte Potts. She's been following this story for us today. She's here in Berlin. Good evening to you, Charlotte. So the big question, will these changes, will they improve the security situation here in Germany?
Yes, it's most certainly an improvement. We have to keep in mind that the Interior Minister and the Justice Minister are looking how to improve security loopholes that have come to light in the case of Anis Amri. And let me give you one example in that case. Anis Amri, when he attacked the Christmas market, he had already been denied asylum. He was classified as a dangerous individual by German authorities, by intelligence agencies, and still he was able to walk around freely in Germany. The authorities weren't able to detain him. So the Justice Minister and the Interior Minister are proposing, for example, a new law where suspects can be detained on the ground of posing a threat to German security. So this would basically take possible terror suspects off the streets into detention centers until a possible deportation, and that is most certainly one of the improvements that are proposed in those measures.
And certainly people are going to be asking then, if these new laws had been in effect last month, would they have been able to prevent the attack at that Christmas market?
Well, that's always hard to say. The Justice Minister and the Interior Minister, they agreed that, of course, there is no such thing as full security, but those measures are most certainly a step in the right direction. Those measures, they want to basically put those into laws until the end of the legislative period, which is in the summer. And some of the measures, such as electronic ankle bracelets, for example, would help to keep track of terror suspects and would not let them travel freely without surveillance throughout Germany.
How much of this is politically motivated? I mean, we are facing an election here in Germany later this year. Certainly that had to go into the calculation, didn't it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the government wants to show that they are doing everything possible to keep their citizens safe, and security is the #1 issue across the political spectrum. And what's most interesting is that most of the parties agree upon stronger detention measures and deportation measures, for example. So this most certainly is an issue that is being discussed across all political aisles at the moment and will play a large role in the upcoming elections.
All right, our political correspondent, Charlotte Potts, there on the story for us tonight here in Berlin. Thank you very much, Charlotte.
It's been 3 weeks since the deadly truck attack on a Christmas market here in Berlin. Now Germany is to toughen its anti-terrorism laws. Interior Minister Thomas de Maizière and Justice Minister Heiko Maas have been meeting to draw up a new package of measures. They agreed on the need for electronic ankle monitors for suspected extremists. They also said they would work to speed up deportations of people living in Germany illegally. DW political correspondent Charlotte Potts has been following that meeting. Welcome, Charlotte. We'll hear some of what the two ministers had to say and then get your thoughts. We'll start with the Interior Minister, Thomas de Maizière.
We agreed on the introduction of tougher terms for residency. We're going to strengthen the requirements for asylum seekers who may be lying about their identity. We also agreed on easier conditions for putting people in custody ahead of deportation.
So, Charlotte Potts, making it easier to put to jail Islamists considered to be a threat to public safety. That sounds like an improvement, is it?
Yes, it is definitely an improvement. We have to keep in mind that the Interior Minister and the Justice Minister are trying to close those security gaps that came to light in the case of Anis Amri and the attacker of the Christmas market. He was denied asylum, but he couldn't be kept in detention for a longer period of time. So now the two ministers agreed upon a new law where potential terrorists basically can be arrested and be kept in detention for a longer period of time until their deportation. So in other words, they can't walk around freely anymore in Germany, those potential suspects, and that is definitely an improvement.
OK. Now, our government also wants to make it easier to deport asylum seekers whose applications have been rejected. Let's hear what the Justice Minister had to say.
We want to further encourage countries of origin that cooperate with us to use all possibilities to take back their citizens. But here in Germany, we don't want to look like beggars. In our opinion, those who do not cooperate with us by taking back their citizens can also be urged with the necessary amount of pressure to take these measures.
So you can have an intention, but how are they going to get these countries of origin to cooperate more closely?
Well, there are different measures that the Justice Minister is proposing. For example, one would be cutting development aid. It's a very controversial topic that the development minister here in Germany does not agree upon, but the two ministers, the Interior and the Justice Minister, agreed upon that by maybe cutting down, for example, development aid, other financial aid, or tightening visa restrictions for those countries of origins. And with those measures, they want to have more countries agree upon taking their citizens back and returning those deemed potentially dangerous to their country of origin.
Charlotte Potts, for now, thank you.